Welcome back to the deep dive. Get ready, because today we're going to explore Taoist energy cultivation.
Oh,
As described in this book here, Awaken Healing Light by Mantak Chia.
Yeah. Now, I've heard of him
You might be thinking energy cultivation sounds a little bit
out there.
out there, yeah,
Yeah.
and fair enough, but
Right.
what if I told you that Taoism suggests that we might be using our internal energy, like a car getting a measly 5 miles per gallon?
Okay.
That's where this book comes in.
Interesting.
So who is Mantak Chia?
Well, he's a really fascinating guy, actually. He's
Yeah.
kind of a unique blend of Eastern and Western influences.
Right.
He was born in Thailand and studied with Buddhist monks and Taoist masters,
Wow.
but also managed an office equipment company.
What?
Talk about bridging worlds.
I know, that's amazing.
Right.
So this book, it's not just about meditation, right?
Not at all.
Good.
It dives into the core concept of qi, which is the activating energy of the universe. And it's present in everything and constantly flowing. Think of it like the electricity that powers our homes.
Right.
But this energy powers, well, everything.
Okay, so we're constantly interacting with qi.
Yeah.
We eat, we breathe, we experience emotions,
Mm-hmm.
all of which involves this qi energy.
Precisely. We're constantly consuming qi, but Taoism asks, are we absorbing it effectively? You know, are we plugged into the energy grid properly?
So if not, then what are we missing out on?
Well, according to Taoism, inefficient use of qi can lead to all sorts of issues. Low energy, poor health, emotional imbalance.
Oh, wow.
It's like running on fumes when you could be cruising with a full tank, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
So how do we tap into this abundant energy source? How do we
Yeah.
get that full tank?
That's where Taoist practices come in.
Okay.
They're designed to help us cultivate and refine and circulate qi more effectively.
Okay.
One of the core concepts here is something called the original qi.
Which is a reservoir of energy that we're born with.
Wow.
And it's stored between the navel, the kidneys, and the sexual center. Think of it like our internal battery.
But we're constantly depleting this battery, right?
Exactly.
It's just through daily life.
Exactly. But the good news is we can recharge it.
Okay.
And Taoist practices like the inner smile can help us do just that.
The inner smile, that sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, it's a practice of smiling to your internal organs,
What?
focusing on each one in turn and transforming those negative emotions into virtues.
Smiling to my organs, that's a new one.
It is.
So what's the thinking behind that?
Well, Taoism views virtues not just as ethical concepts, but as having actual energetic qualities.
Right.
They're like food for our subtle bodies.
Mm.
Take compassion, for example.
Okay.
Cultivating compassion is believed to strengthen the heart's energy and make you more resilient to stress.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's fascinating. So, if virtues nourish us energetically, what happens when we're bombarded with negative emotions like fear or anger?
Well, I imagine it's probably not so good.
Well, imagine your body as a pristine environment.
Okay.
Each time you experience fear, anger, resentment,
Right.
it's like dumping toxic waste into that environment.
Yeah.
It disrupts the flow of qi and creates blockages.
So instead of dumping toxic waste, we need to find a way to recycle it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's where the inner smile comes in.
Okay.
It's a powerful technique for transforming those negative emotions into positive, nourishing energy. It's like taking your emotional garbage and turning it into compost to fertilize your inner garden.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So how does this all tie into the microcosmic orbit? I know that's another big concept in the book.
Oh, yeah. The microcosmic orbit is like our body's energy highway.
Okay.
It's a pathway running up the spine and down the front. Circulating qi through this orbit is key to removing those blockages, balancing energy, and promoting both physical and spiritual well-being.
So we're clearing the path
Exactly.
for the qi to flow freely
Right.
and allowing our internal energy to circulate more efficiently.
Precisely. And what's fascinating is that the microcosmic orbit isn't just a general pathway. It has specific points, each with unique properties.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, well, have you ever felt that knot in your stomach when you're anxious?
Oh, yeah.
That's your solar plexus,
Right.
which is a key energy center in the microcosmic orbit.
Okay.
And Taoists believe that this point governs willpower and confidence.
Okay, now that's relatable.
Right.
I definitely feel that knot sometimes.
Yeah.
So by learning to cultivate and circulate our qi through this orbit,
Yeah.
we can potentially address those feelings of anxiety.
Exactly. And
Wow.
that's just one example.
Right.
There are points associated with creativity, intuition, spiritual awareness. It's like having a whole map of your inner universe to explore.
This is already blowing my mind.
I know, right?
And I'm guessing this is just the beginning?
Oh, we're just getting started.
Oh.
Once you've opened up the microcosmic orbit, you can delve into even more advanced practices,
Right.
like the fusion of the 5 elements, which helps you to transform energy even further.
The fusion of the 5 elements.
Yep.
Now I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
It's a practice of harmonizing the 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water
Right.
within your own body.
Yeah.
And this harmony allows you to refine your chi and ultimately connect to cosmic energies.
Cosmic energy?
Yeah.
Are we talking about like
Yeah.
tapping into the power of the stars and planets now?
You got it.
Wow.
Think the North Star, the Big Dipper,
Okay.
the universe's own energy grid. It's about recognizing that we're not just isolated beings,
Right.
but interconnected with the entire cosmos.
So we've got this chi energy flowing through us.
Yeah.
We can recharge our internal battery,
Uh-huh.
and we have this microcosmic orbit that helps us to circulate it all.
Exactly.
There's even more to it.
Yeah.
Like this fusion of the 5 elements and connecting to cosmic energies.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. It's a fascinating journey, though.
Yeah.
And Chia's book provides a detailed roadmap for those who are ready to explore.
I think before we dive into those advanced practices,
Okay.
we need to take a closer look at the microcosmic orbit itself.
Yeah,
We've mentioned a few key points, but there are many more to explore. Right?
absolutely.
All right, let's buckle up and get ready to map out this inner universe.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're ready to embark on this guided tour of the microcosmic orbit,
All
this
right.
energetic highway that runs through our bodies.
Yeah.
Where do we even begin on this inner roadmap?
Well, a good place to start is the lower Tiantin.
Okay,
It's often called the cauldron in Taoist practice,
interesting.
and it's located in the lower abdomen
Okay.
between the navel and the kidneys and the sexual center.
So this is where our original chi is stored,
Right.
that battery we talked about.
Exactly.
But it's more than just energy storage, right?
Right. The lower Tiantin is also seen as our center of gravity, both physically and energetically.
Okay,
It's about grounding ourselves, connecting to the Earth's energy,
right.
which is essential for stability and balance.
Okay.
Imagine a tree with deep roots.
I see.
That's the kind of foundation we're cultivating here.
So we're anchoring ourselves before we start moving energy upwards.
Exactly.
Makes sense. What's next on our journey up the spine?
As we move upwards from the lower Tiantin, we encounter the perineum,
Okay.
which is known as the gate of life and death.
Gate of life and death? That sounds pretty intense.
It might sound dramatic, but it highlights the importance of this point.
Okay.
It's where the earth energy enters the body.
Hmm.
And it's closely linked to our sexual energy and the flow of chi throughout the entire microcosmic orbit.
So it's like a bridge between our physical and energetic bodies.
Exactly.
Okay.
And from there, we move to the base of the spine, the Coxsackie sacrum.
Right.
Think of this area as a pump, drawing energy upwards.
So we're starting to feel that upward flow, like sap rising in a tree.
Yes.
Where does this energy go next?
It flows up to a point called the door of life, located at the level of the kidneys.
The kidneys, they're essential for filtering our blood and maintaining overall health. It's a point related to vitality and longevity.
Absolutely. Taoists view the kidneys as the storehouse of our vital essence, which is closely linked to lifespan and overall well-being.
Right.
Keeping this point energized is key for maintaining that vitality.
Okay, so we're nourishing our life force as we move up the spine. What's the next stop?
From the door of life, we reach the adrenal center around the 11th thoracic vertebra.
Ah, the adrenals. Those are our fight or flight glands,
Yeah.
pumping out adrenaline when we're stressed.
Right.
So I'm guessing this point is all about managing stress and energy levels.
You got it. The adrenal center is definitely linked to our stress response, but it also plays a role in regulating overall energy and vitality. If this point is blocked or depleted, we might feel tired, stressed, and generally run down.
It's like our internal power generator. If it's not functioning properly, everything else suffers.
Right.
So keeping this point humming along is definitely a priority.
Yes.
What happens as the energy continues to flow upwards?
It reaches a point opposite the heart,
Okay.
around the 5th thoracic vertebra. And this point is believed to balance the heart's energy, which is associated with love, compassion, and joy.
Interesting. So it's like a balancing point for the heart, helping us to cultivate and radiate those positive emotions.
Precisely. And as we continue upwards, we come to a point opposite the throat,
Okay.
at the 7th cervical vertebra, the base of the neck.
Mm.
And this point connects the energy flow between the upper and lower body.
So it's a crucial relay station for our energy highway.
Exactly.
We definitely don't want any blockages there.
Right.
And finally, we reach the top of the spine, a point called the jade pillow, located at the base of the skull. Jade pillow. I love these names. What's so special about this point?
The jade pillow is closely connected to the brain and the flow of cerebrospinal fluid. It's also associated with our intuition and spiritual awareness.
So stimulating this point might enhance our creativity and insight?
It's thought to help us access those higher levels of consciousness and connect to our inner wisdom.
Wow.
So we've journeyed all the way up the spine,
Right.
activating these key energy centers along the way.
Yes.
And now, from the jade pillow, we're poised to loop back down the front of the body and complete the microcosmic orbit.
It's incredible to think that we have this whole energetic universe within us.
Yeah.
But before we explore that downward flow,
Okay.
I think it's worth taking a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far.
It is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
And as we move on to the downward flow, we'll see how these points connect and interact, creating a harmonious flow of energy throughout the entire system.
So we've journeyed all the way up the spine and activated these key energy centers. And now we've reached the jade pillow at the top.
Yeah.
So it's time to explore this downward flow of energy, of chi, and bring it back down the front of the body. So where does this downward path lead us?
From the jade pillow, the chi flows down to the crown,
Okay.
located at the top of the head.
Right.
This point is often called the 100 meetings point.
Interesting.
And it's associated with our connection to the universal force, or heavenly chi.
So we're tapping into a cosmic energy source
Exactly.
and bringing that energy down into our bodies.
Yeah, the crown is like an antenna, allowing us to receive and transmit energy from the universe. It's also associated with spiritual enlightenment and higher consciousness.
Okay, so from the crown, where does this heavenly chi flow?
It flows down to the pituitary gland,
Okay.
which is located between the eyebrows. That's the third eye.
Right.
Known in many spiritual traditions for its connection to intuition and inner vision.
I've always been fascinated by the concept of the third eye. But isn't the pituitary gland also a master regulator of our hormones?
It is.
Okay.
It plays a vital role in our physical well-being,
Right.
but it also has this connection to our inner vision, our ability to perceive beyond the physical senses.
So we're not just talking about physical energy here,
Right.
but a more subtle spiritual energy as well.
Exactly.
Where does this energy go from the third eye?
It flows down to the tongue.
The tongue. What role does the tongue play in all of this?
Well, it might seem surprising, but the tongue is crucial in connecting the upward and downward flows of the microcosmic orbit.
Okay.
By placing the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth,
Right.
we complete the circuit and allow the chai to circulate freely.
I never thought about the tongue that way before.
Yeah.
But it makes sense considering how important it is for breathing and speaking and tasting.
Right.
It's like a bridge between our inner and outer worlds.
Exactly.
So from the tongue, where does the energy flow?
It moves down to the throat center, which is associated with communication and expression.
Oh, yeah. We often feel a blockage in our throats when we're holding back,
Yeah.
afraid to speak our truth.
Exactly. Keeping this point open and energized can help us to communicate authentically and express ourselves creatively
Right.
without fear or hesitation.
So from the throat, where does the chi flow next?
It flows down to the heart center,
Okay.
located in the center of the chest.
Right.
This is the seat of love, compassion, and joy.
It's amazing how these points correspond with our physical and emotional experiences.
It is.
When we feel love and compassion, we really do feel it in our hearts. So working with this point can help us cultivate those qualities.
It can help us to open our hearts, allowing those feelings to flow freely, not just within ourselves, but outwards to others as well.
That's beautiful. As we continue downward, where does the energy go from the heart?
It flows to the solar plexus,
Okay.
located in the upper abdomen just below the breastbone. This is a powerful energy center associated with personal power, willpower, and self-esteem.
The solar plexus, we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
It's where we feel that gut feeling,
Right.
that sense of knowing.
It's also where we feel our confidence, our ability to stand up for ourselves and pursue our goals.
So working with the solar plexus can help us to tap into our inner strength
Yeah.
and feel more empowered.
Precisely. And finally, the energy flows down to the navel,
Okay.
bringing us back to the lower Tian where we began.
Full circle.
Yeah, this completes the circuit, allowing the qi to flow continuously and harmoniously throughout the entire energy system.
What an incredible journey. We've traveled through the entire body, activating these energy centers,
All right.
connecting to the earth and the universe and bringing it all back to the center.
Yeah.
It really highlights the interconnectedness of everything within us and around us.
It does. And as we cultivate our qi and circulate it through the microcosmic orbit, we can experience profound benefits. Not just in our physical health, but in our emotional well-being, our mental clarity, and our spiritual awareness.
It's like we're upgrading our entire operating system, going from sluggish and inefficient to energized and aligned. So what's the first step for someone who wants to embark on this path of energy cultivation?
The first step is simply awareness.
Okay.
Pay attention to how you feel throughout the day. Notice where you feel tension or blockages in your body.
Right.
And start exploring some of the practices that we've discussed, like the inner smile and the microcosmic orbit meditation.
And of course, Mantak Chia's book provides detailed guidance for those who want to delve deeper.
Absolutely. This is a journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
And it's a journey that unfolds endlessly, revealing new insights and possibilities with every step we take.
It's inspiring to think that we have this incredible potential within us,
It is.
just waiting to be unlocked. Thank you for guiding us through this exploration of the microcosmic orbit and the world of Taoist energy cultivation.
Oh, of course, my pleasure.
I have a feeling this is just the beginning of our journey together.
I think you're right.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to embark on your own journey of energy cultivation.
Yeah?
Explore, experiment, and discover the incredible power that lies within you.
Absolutely.
The possibilities are truly limitless.
Yeah.
Until next time, may your energy flow freely and powerfully